limbo. Lust, all gone, with gluttony soon to follow. Your kind know nothing but hunger, purged all life on the upper layers, and yet they remain unsatiated. You've taken everything from me, and now all that remains is perfect hatred.
Hi, I'm Aspi, and this is my Skyblock world. It is currently 2,954 days old. It has the means to get almost every single item in the game, and it sucks. Well, not entirely, but for a world this old, it sure has some problems. I have a drowned farm that is floating in the middle of nowhere, and is so inefficient that I had to make another one separately in the end, which I removed to make place for never mind. This automatic dirt farm isn't even covered, and its defective brother is still sitting next to my swamp. I made the temporary platform to convert mud into clay better, but it's still there. And it's still ugly. I also have an automatic cobblestone farm sitting in the open for no reason, and next to it is wow, I really need to give this place an upgrade. But let's not forget about this automatic cactus farm that is also sitting in the open. Guess I took the word sky out of Skyblock too literally. There is tons of bridges that needs to be mined. And look at this place! We have a pretty automatic mob farm, a decked out villager trader, and here, a generic and grotesque tree park. The worst part being that I tried to cover it with a flimsy little entrance.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Like, what is this supposed to hide? And for goodness sake, I'm more than 2,000 days deep into this world and I'm still chopping down trees by hand? It's so bad, but not as bad as the chest monster I created down there. I ran out of space to the point where I started placing down other chests just to store these items. In short, I have a lot of stuff to do. And if I had a penny for every time I did a video that almost took 1,000 Minecraft days, I will have 2 pennies, which isn't much. But what the fuck? One of the first things I wanted to do before anything else was to expand my island. After all, last episode I nearly lost my sanity building an automatic efficient dirt farm. Yo! And if you think that I'm not going to exploit it to its maximum capacity, then you, sir, are an idiot. Even though this farm is extremely efficient, I wanted to make sure that I had enough dirt for everything. So, I AFK'd for a couple hours, which provided me with around 2,100 blocks. Or in other terms, enough dirt for everything. I hope. And so I started expanding the island, especially the outer edges near the barn, even surrounding what used to be the Never Island, so add that to the list of things that need to be changed. The more I think about it, the more I'm starting to think that I should probably work on my automatic tree farm before anything else. I might need wood in the future. Yeah, you know what, let's just do that. In hindsight, it was really obvious that I should have started with the tree farm, but that's also pretty on brand for me. First step, remove everything. By the way, if you think I'm going to let all of this glowstone go to waste, you are deeply mistaken. The only way to get glowstone is to, like, hit a witch, like, with your hands. Woman abuse. I don't remember the last time I actually had to kill a witch manually. So any piece of glowstone I have is very precious. That also includes this bridge, and especially this rod of an entrance. Step 2. Spend hours figuring out the theme of the automatic tree farm. I didn't want to go with grass and leaf theme, because you know, I already have a lot of those on my island. So I thought about making something with stone, but I figured that the cobblestone machine would probably benefit more from it. So I sat down in front of my chest, looking for something I could use. And then I found it. There was only one type of block to do the job, and it's what? Mycelium. It's mycelium. Because, yeah, I have no explanations. I didn't want to make the interior very detailed, considering the machine is not only pretty big, but it also uses TNT. And TNT accidents aren't something I'm very fond of, but I did make an effort to give it a good look from an outside perspective. With custom mushrooms, and a custom sakura tree. Mycelium being purple, pinkish, it only made sense to use cherry trees. Sprinkle the ground with petals, shrooms and never fungi, and there you have it. And if you're wondering why mushrooms, well, I didn't have anything with mushrooms, okay? I needed an excuse. It's not completely random because while this is mainly a tree farm, it can also do mushrooms. In here, in this space, we have a bone meal generator using moss into composters to generate bone meal. That bone meal gets transferred into this chute right here. Here we have a TNT duper that will drop all the way down here to break the trees. This is a little like setting for a certain type of trees because obviously they have different heights and stuff. And how it works is very simple. Just need a sapling in your offhand, bone meal in one of yours, plant it, grow it, and you activate the machine. Why is it not working? Oh my god, it doesn't even produce more. How am I doing this all the time? I bet it's something like the dirt farm where I placed a block next to something I shouldn't have placed and then it broke the entire thing and I'm just going to redo everything and yippee.
2 hours later.
Well, remember how I tried to make this farm look somewhat pretty on the inside even though it wasn't the main thing? Well, forget about that. Put it aside, crush it, put it to bed with some lead, I don't know, hit it down with a mace. I just made sure that nothing from my build was nearly remotely close to the farm. Ah, yes, it does. Well, in any case, it works. Oh, almost. It broke a little bit of the glass. Whatever, I don't care. Link to the farm in the description. Now I can go back to expanding, but instead of just making my main island bigger, I thought about making another island next to it. But I didn't want it to be filled with lots of builds. I just wanted this to be pretty vanilla, kinda like if you were to walk in a normal Minecraft world. So first, let's make some space. First, the cobblestone machine. Don't worry about all the wasted cobblestone, I have more than enough in my chest for everything that I need. And besides, I'm going to rebuild it at one point. And for the dirt farm, there is only one way to remove it. Not gonna lie, it did make me feel a little better. Now let's get to building. It may not look like it, but this took a lot of time. And I know what you're thinking right now. This looks ugly. And you're right. Already an improvement, but it's still very empty. Here's how I plan to fill the island. On the west side, there will be a sparse jungle, with a route that leads into a jungle temple, and inside said temple, I will put the cocoa machine, currently sitting in the second floor of my mansion? Yeah, over there. In the middle front of the island, there will be a small hill type plain, with a windmill, surrounded by huge amount of wheat crops. And inside it, I will put, you guessed it, the wheat farm. Now behind that said windmill, there will be a giant mountain with the top covered in snow and packed ice. On the east side of the island, there will be a giant desert. And you guessed it, there will be a giant custom cactus. Hiding the cactus farm, okay, you're right. But why talk when I can just show? Sit down and relax. I ended up adding just a little bit more stuff in this island, like a pond, a natural path that leads into a custom made meadow, a patch of pumpkins, and an old friend's house. Yes, and a cherry biome, okay. But listen, this one isn't even my fault, okay? This part had different colored grass because the creator of the map changed the biome to cherry, but cherry grass is different than normal grass, so I needed something to, you know, hide the thing and... Okay, the machine is broken. Oh my god. I could rebuild it again? You know what? I have enough dirt for everything I need so far, so whatever. I'll put it on hold for another episode or something like that. I cannot be bothered to build that machine again. It's the bane of my existence. And just like that, the secondary island is complete, which means we can move on to
The Nether.
I don't think I need to change the portal itself, but the exterior surely needs an upgrade. After all the dirt around the island makes it look stupid. One forest later, and off with the bridge. I just need to be careful and save the 4 pieces of glowstone there.
Yo, dude, why this one?
Bro! Wrong game. You know, this Never Island was decent. I wouldn't call it spectacular or something, but it did the job pretty well. However, there was one pretty big flaw with it, and when making the second iteration of it, I would need to avoid it. What was the flaw in question, I hear you may ask? That's not English. What was the flaw, I hear you ask? And the problem is this. More specifically, this block right here. Back when I made this island, I used Neverworld blocks as replacement for Netherrack, and as you probably know, you can craft the damn thing. But a comment back then told me that I could just craft the Netherrack. At first I was confused because obviously you can craft Netherrack, that's not a recipe. But I still went ahead, created a world and tried it, and obviously it didn't work. But the guy responded saying that instead of using more vines, I need to use crimson vines. So I went to that world again and tried it again, and of course it didn't work again. So I just dismissed the comment as someone being wrong, you know? Happens. Man, what a A bit of time after, I learned that this map had custom crafts, and Netherrack was one of them. And obviously my dumbass didn't think of just trying to craft inside the map. So a year later, I apologize to you, commenter. You were right all along. And this is how I learned the rule of thumb of this map. If something is not craftable in vanilla, there is a custom craft for it. This is how I got kelp, this is how I got Netherrack, and this is how I got deep slate. So please, no comment asking how I got deep slate, okay? Now that I can use the real deal, it was time for a makeover. You know, I was thinking of putting a giant lava lake in the middle and having my portal like be a sort of mini Never Island. And the more I look at this, the more I realize it's a pretty dumb idea. An extremely stupid idea even. Not that I can do it. I have the means to produce infinite lava, but it's gonna take me like so much time. Let's scratch that and just go with 4 biomes. Yeah, 4 miniature biomes of it. Are very original. Let's first start with the Never Waste. Then the Crimson biome. Then the War Forest. A Soulsand Valley. Yeah, never mind, I'm not even gonna say anything. Well, at least I can check that off the list. Next step, actually giving emerald plate an exterior, because what the f is this? The first step of improving the exterior, actually having a bit more ground to run on. And then I wanted to have an exterior and an exterior. So I made a ring, short and thick. Just like me, using a combination of stone brick, stone and cobblestone. And to break up the light pattern, I used some spruce wood. And just like that, the outside ring has more texturing than the build is literally covering. Go me! On the east side of the build, I made the leaf labyrinth. And I don't know if that's just me, but leaf labyrinths often remind me of wealthy castles. So I thought it was fitting. It is functional, by the way, so if you want a small minigame, you can pause the video and try to pass through the labyrinth. Here's the entrance and here's the exit. On the west side, I made a small gravel pond with a couple of trees. And here's a little tip for you. If you place 3 blocks vertically with torches on the side and try to grow a sapling right next to it, the tree will always turn out to be this big. Behind said tree, I made a small cherry biome. Because shut up, I don't have a problem. On the north side, I made a pool. Although I accidentally built the pool in an ocean biome, so it ended up being more of an aquarium than an actual pool. It is what it is. And just like that, the emerald plane finally got the glow up it deserved. It only took like what, a year? Now I needed a spot for the cobblestone machine, which was pretty easy actually. There was 2 massive eyesores in the distance. Give me a second. Much better, but I still had a conundrum. What am I going to build to hide the cobblestone machine? I could go with massive cobblestone block, but I already did something like that. Or I could go ahead and make a giant volcano. I am not kidding. Probably it's there. I don't know if you guys saw it. Here, there is slimes in this slime farm again. Okay. What the hell? Ever since I changed the Smaus version, the slime farm has stopped working. And, you know, I thought, oh, okay, well, the slime chunk probably moved to another location. I need to redo it again, but I didn't want to. But it seems that now that I installed this temporary lava machine, it seems that slimes have started to spawn again. So I don't know. I will look into it. Hold on, I need to share something, so a little pause right there. You see, the reason I went with volcano was for a more specific reason. I think we can all agree that volcanoes look cool. And what looks cooler than a volcano? A volcano that is erupting. And that's what I was trying to go for. I wanted to use the cobblestone machine to simulate that eruption, using the TNT needed inside the farm to do the trick. Except that it did not go as planned. But that mistake was genuinely a blessing in disguise. The extra time I spent trying to fix that mistake gave me the idea to also make an automatic lava farm. But most importantly, it made me go buy my villager trader. And what's this on my trader, other than well-treated workers? That's right, a chimney. I'm curious to see if this works. Oh wow, it works. This gives me an idea actually. Adding smoke was already a decent step into improving the volcano, but the final detail that would do it for me was to make the lava go down every time the entrance to the machine were closed and have the lava stop every time the entrance was open. Not only does it create a dynamic with the volcano, but it also gives me a visual signal in case I forgot to close the entrance or something. The best part about it is that the redstone behind it isn't even difficult. Get some pistons, hold the top source blocks, create a scuffed but very effective line attached to a bottom lever that you will also use for an entrance, and to attach both gimmicks to each other, create an inverter. But before anything, let me show you how the machine works. Automatic lava farm and cobblestone farm. I play some science just to remind me, because the way you activate this machine is a little bit weird. You just place a button on the piston, and then forget that you need the cauldron. So you place a cauldron there, and then you place a button there, and then you flick it. I always mess up something, don't I? This observer should see that something moved to power the piston. That's what I did. Oh, okay. Right. And I need some cobblestone. Well, okay, you know what? Luckily, I can show how to get the cobblestone here. Click the lever, press the button, and the cobblestone will go inside there. Okay, I messed up something again. I'm just a beast at redstone, what can I say? Yeah, okay, now it works. I would have looked really stupid if it didn't. Fill your inventory, grab a bucket, walk in the middle of the slab, point at the cauldron, and then set up another clicker and just, yeah. And when you want to stop, you just break a powder. Whether you're okay with the use of an auto clicker, it's totally up to you, but I don't care. And to probably close off these 3 new islands, we will need 3 bridges. Now there's only one thing I need to fix, and it's this abomination of a chest room. Only one way to fix this. Item sorters. But no need to go overkill. This is a skyblock world after all. Let's not forget that farming some of these materials can be extremely tedious. Looking at you, Clay, you f***ing dick. The good thing about this sorter is that it gave me an excuse to finally use Prisma. Like, I got infinite amounts of it, but I didn't use it a single time. I also wanted to use all the extra copper that I got a year ago, but I can't use them in this state. I need to oxidize them first. So, we wait. There we go, it's finally done. Man, I did not think of that. You can see the hoppers behind the chest because it's so far away. You walk in, boom, it's up. It's whatever. I got everything sorted out, set up the filters. Now I just need to transfer everything inside this chest. And a very easy way to do this is with this. You just put all the items inside, click the lever, and I have some items to show that. So click that, and boom! If I did this correctly, I should be seeing packed ice in here. Yeah, some packed ice, nice. Obviously it will take some time to filter everything because I have so many items. My island evolved drastically and I could not be happier with it. Well, almost. I could make a bottom part of these islands like I did with the Slime Island, but I want to upload before 2026, so let's not do that. But as it stands, I did everything I wanted to do in the overworld. Did you really think I was going to forget the Nether? I mean, come on man, it's still incomplete to this day. I need to fix that. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be happy with it. And if I'm not happy with it, then what's the point of doing anything in life? Thankfully, there's less stuff to do. But still stuff to do. And if there is something I want to do, is to finally have a bridge for each side of the hub. An easy fix for one of the sides would be to create a staircase downward that links up to the blaze farm. And now that I have a proper way to go down, that means I can remove the old way of accessing my farm, which is such a relief. What, you think it's not that bad? Alright, let me walk you through it then. Now we have this particular side of the map, where I not only have a honey farm, but also a basalt farm. Obviously I'm not going to put two farms in one build, so I'm going to relocate the basalt farm to the other side of the map, including this beacon. And since this is a basalt generator, it only made sense to make it out of basalt blocks. I didn't really know what I wanted to do exactly, so like usual, I looked up on Pinterest some builds, and I saw a couple of castles that looked really cool, so I decided to make one while taking inspiration from them. By the way, if I can give a piece of advice to anyone that wants to build, look on Pinterest, man. Don't necessarily copy what you see, but take parts from it, and try to twist it in your own ways to create something original. As a matter of fact, this build for my survival world was inspired by this picture. Anyway, a challenge I would face when building in the Nether is that I would need to find a way to spawn-proof everything to avoid gas spawnings, meaning using slabs, trapdoors, or unspawnable blocks like slime or glass. And well, those aren't the most aesthetically pleasing blocks in the world, but I managed to make it work, by mostly hiding the trapdoors at an angle. Unless you use elytras, of course. But no one needs to know that. And before I get that comment, yes, I know that most people often use mob switches for things like that, but adding one here means that I would need to deactivate my gold farm and my blaze farm, and I don't really want to do that. There was only one side remaining, and it was the honey farm. I thought about making a beehive, but already done that. And then I thought about making a box overflowing with honey, but I'm just going to let past me explain it. So I guess sometimes asked how do I design the builds, or just questions general on how I'm planning these builds in advance or something. Well, the reality is I use creative mode. No, not like that. So there's two ways I go about making builds. I said it before, but I use a mod called Line Manica to just have the blueprints of my build. So what it does is that it just creates a hologram of the build that I made. And well, as you can see, I can go through it. It's not real blocks. And what it does is that it tells me whenever I place the block that should be there or not. For example, this is mycelium. This is obviously mycelium, right? Even if you look at the top right, it says, now I go there, I place some wood. As you can see, the wood is red because it's not mycelium. Now, if I were to put it here, it's purple because it's not supposed to be there, blah, blah, blah. Not the main point. Whenever I make something, either I have a copy of it, of the world in general, that I can just modify whenever, or I just go to a super file world and, do the build over there. For example, this is me making a sorting system. And I don't know if any of you tried to build anything in creative before, but there's some times where you have this really good idea in your head. How could it go wrong, right? And then you build it. But the thing is, sometimes that really good idea of yours ends up being to this day I really don't understand what the hell I was trying to build here. Like, it's like a giant pot of honey, but it's square, and then there is like vines and leaves and mushrooms. It looks ugly, man. It looks ugly. You know what's the worst thing? I made the schematic right after that. So I built it, and then a couple days later I looked at it again. I was like, yeah, this is what I want. I'm going with that. Like, even the interior is like, I mean, I guess it's not too bad, the interior. Thankfully for your pretty eyes, I just removed this catastrophe, and now, ta-da! I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but it looks a lot better than what I was originally going for. Only bad thing is that it's kind of small, and I don't really care. I have a lot of honey anyway, and it works decently fine. But if there's something else that I did, right, which I don't really know why it took this long for me to do, is I actually made a proper a proper filter system down there for all the piglin borrowing trades. Before I would just be there, grab it through the chest, and then take everything I wanted and remove everything I didn't want. Why did I do that? I don't know. I'm stupid. Especially when I made some for the gold. So we have soul sand, gravel, obviously, never brick, obviously, black stone, obviously. String, I don't necessarily need this much of it. There is my mob farm in the overworld that works fine. Buying obsidian and obsidian. Realistically, I don't need obsidian anymore. I really do not need obsidian. And then quartz. I don't think I need to say more about it. You know, I was on a roll. I decided to make this filtering system, but never. Why not fix a part of my original sorting system? And I'm talking about this one. I'm talking about this one. I still haven't cleared anything yet. Okay, never mind. I still need to clear all of this. I pretty much rearranged the part where there was all the chests and then made it into a place where there's actually a proper bed. Now it looks decent. The only problem I have with this iteration is that I made it a bit too small, so it's not the most efficient thing in the world, but I have some spare, but it's still okay. But I can't be asked to make it again. But I forgot to press record for the sand duper, but I forgot to press record. Well, that was anticlimactic. At least it wasn't really a build, more so a passage through the sand duper. The reasoning being I didn't want to interfere with the sand duper. Those things are fragile, and I'm lazy. But with this, the Never is finally complete. And you know, all of this building made me realize that I pretty much did everything I wanted in this world. I mean, sure, I never visited the ancient city, but it's not like I'm missing something important. I could revamp some builds I consider failed, like the end, or the facade of Emerald Plain, or the mansion to some extent. But at the same time, I also feel like letting some of these failed builds adds to the charm of this world, that not every idea is a good idea. In any case, even if I have nothing to work towards anymore, I'll keep adding stuff to this world, for as long as I'm alive. No. You guys did this? What the hell is he even talking about?
I will cut you down, rake you apart, splay the gore of your profane form across the stars. I will grind you down until the very spots cry for mercy. My hands shall relish ending you here and now.
This guy isn't going down easily, but I have to eliminate him. But if I stay on the island, I will inevitably get swarmed. The Prisma Palace is the only place in this world that is far away from everything, meaning that I could isolate him and force him into 1v1 on stable terrain. Wait, do you mind if I kill that slime first? Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Ah! You're right. You are getting nowhere. How did you even find this? I can't hurt the warden. But maybe I have to. This guy is too occupied destroying my build. But I can turn his destruction into an opportunity. If I can somehow drag the warden into the guardian's killing chamber, then I may have a chance of defeating him. And hopefully escaping. It's risky. But I don't have a choice. It worked! I'm safe!
What?
You have nothing left. You're done.
How can this be? You insignificant fuck! This is not over!
Look at you now running for your life. Come back here. These troops have been heavy on my elytras, but his should also worn down. He'll have no options but to land on the first bit of terrain he can find. And I know which terrain exactly. Just face it, you have nowhere to run.
You are outclassed!
Whoa! Like that's going to kill me. What? Find more cobblestone. Welcome to Skyblock. Oh, who is the guy that wants to kill me? It's Bo. Following asking to yourself, why would I ever? He's so bad at the game. He's actually gonna die. No! I actually cannot believe myself. Like, look at this. In this block, jungle. In this block, windswept hills. I've been farming for nothing! Dad?
Come on, it's Bo. Your dad's never come back.
It's not guaranteed that there's a room full of sponges. Oh. No, don't go into the lava, please! What's their problem even? I always minded my own business, and yet they thought I need to be eradicated? Well, it doesn't matter anyway. I won't be able to know the answer after all. Guess it's time for me to rest. Forever. What the fuck? Thank you for following this series till the end. It has been a great series, and a lot of time has passed in between. When I started this world, I had less than 50 subscribers, and now I have 2,000 of you following me. Like promised, years ago now, I will give a link to this world in the description. But what's up next? Is it the end of my channel? Well, no, obviously I make other videos, and I don't plan to stop making these anytime soon. And as of right now, I need to know where the hell I am. Cause something tells me there is a lot more to this place than meets the eyes. But that is a story for another time. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Have a good day.